Thank you for the opportunity and the honor to be the first in this one-minute program. I'm very interested in the relationship between human and nature. And for this, I use trees that have been cut down, and the wood as a material, a living material, and I use fire, and snow, and ice, and natural stone. And I try to create places, islands, sculptural islands of art and nature. And I try to combine the messages of a sculpture and of a place. I'm doing place-specific sculptures, and I'm very interested in some ideas of Novalis, a thinker from the 18th century, who said nature should be art and art another nature.
When I create, I just try to connect me to the universe and then let come the feeling, and then I want to express the force of life. I use human bodies because I think they most express what is life, the life force. I've started by molding clay, which is a complete sensuous experience. Just making human bodies. I let go my hands, and I never know what's coming out. I try to fix the present moment, the emotion of the present moment in a fluid form, just not to get it too much enclosed. I had lots of pleasure making all the molding casts, putting my hands in the clay and in the wax and the silicone and everything. This was the last bronze, and then I fell in love with the stones. I get addicted to stones. I love them. I speak with them. I feel them. I felt very irrespectful to put my tools in this marble, which accumulated so much force all those years, and it was going in dust in the nature. I like the white stones. Then I tried some colored stones. I tried to make it much more simple. And this uncovering, I just try to eliminate the most and go to the essential, and then we stay with this Buddha.
I'm a young artist studying an MA in fine art by distance learning in the UK. I live in Barcelona. This is a journey of abstraction from the human head. This is a triptych form I do. I start with some sketches of the human head, and it moves into these kind of planes. This is a self-portrait. And then I've here turned that self-portrait into a cone, into a cylinder to create a sculptural form. I make them out of plaster. This is my beautiful wife. We've missed a couple of slides. This is the idea of using. That was the idea of using the canvas as a sculpture. Sometimes I take the sculptural forms and turn them into different shapes. Finally, this is Jesus at the Last Supper. There are 13 of these that are crowded round a table.
The focus of my sculptures is the yellow color. It's the color of the light, the sun, and of the south. In my work, it always represents an aspect of light. Each time I use the same bright, slightly greenish tone, which reminds almost of luminous paint. To transmit my ideas, I enlarge objects and I experiment with different abstract forms. When I develop the prototypes of my sculptures, I use simple material like paper mache. I want to show an unexpected view. My works often have a minimalistic look, and many of them are created as a series. I often do site-specific works because I'm interested in the particular situation of a location. This can be a natural environment as well as architecture.
Oh, here, this is not the same right shape. You know, it's not like this. It's more round.
Very different looking here on this. This is a hotel room, Cross Vincent bedroom, a painting people can sleep in this place. This was an installation in an underground water tank.
My name is Johannes van Stum, sculptor and the president of the Royal British Society of Sculptors. This is the wrong way around. Normally I worked for the last 25 years in glass and stone and steel and try to combine these materials. I try to combine the dark and the light, the fragile and the strong, and try to form a unity like all of us try in our lives to form a unity of all the different aspects. I worked in glass, big live figures, but the glass had too many technical problems, and now I use the space to symbolize purity and clarity in human figures. So here you see me in front of my studio, and here you see one of my figures full of light and clarity. Thank you.
My work questioned the feminine and masculine, the perception of time, the part of nature that we are, but also the nature which is around us. I create curved, egg-shaped forms or endless series. The material I use are as fragile as the Posidonia herb or as strong as the bronze. The size of the pieces range from small to monumental. The subject can be intimate or public. But in any case, the investigation is a constant search for the herb of the female sorrow.
Thank you.
Hello everybody. I'm working in cycles, exploring an idea, image or allegorical reference to a number of related pieces that provide differing approaches. My medium of choice is primarily glass, a material which adds a fourth dimension to the sculptures, created by its interaction with light and its transparency. Color is a vital element that plays an important part in my art. The form of my sculptures origin in the main in pebbles and river stones as a perfect metaphor for human being. My art does not reproduce what is visible, rather it makes things visible, revealing new dimensions hidden beneath the surface. I'm interested in a synthesis of memories and meditation, of observation and notes.
As an architect, I used to design spaces and enclose them with walls that defined their boundaries with sound and natural surroundings. As a sculptor, I think about the inner spirit of my sculptures and define boundaries with clay. This inner spirit is the essence of my work. My sculptural and environmental projects are focused in people, behavior, duality and conflicts. The relationship between people always inspired me. By joining them together, I can feel the music of their moment, the colors, the shadows they cast on one another, and the sexuality of couples. Through them, I can transmit my own feelings in different ways.
My sculptures are made of wood. Mostly I use the chainsaw. My sculptures are always made in one piece. I use the natural properties of the wood. My sculptures are geometric designs with horizontal and vertical rules, with repetition and sequences, and with negative and positive form. I create transparency in my sculpture with cuts and openings. Basic forms like cubes. Cuboids seems as if they were stacked, but they are cut out of one piece.
Antilla Kekki from Finland, hello. I do direct metal sculpture. That means that I use copper plate, which I weld, solder, engrave, do all sorts of things. And I do my sculptures from the beginning to the end myself. As a theme has always been the human being. And being a woman has been my theme. As a matter of fact, I sort of like to promote and celebrate the feminine values throughout time. Some of them, my themes are historical. I get them from the ancient myths and legends, and some are topical of today. This is the oldest sister, 35,000 years. So I like to regard these figures as my sisters. This is the spring coming to the forest, and this is remembering the goddesses. And I also etch. I've done some graphic, but this is etched copper. Thank you.
My name is Sylvia Fassel. I live and work in Münster, Germany. Starting points of my work are simple and archetypical figures and structures taken from nature or architecture. I abstract those elements from their original context and use their essential qualities for new forms. Also, developing and conducting art projects became a substantial stake of my creative work. From May to October this year, the art project Kunstort Münsterland 2011 took place under my responsibility for concept and realization. I came to Bilbao to make inspiring new contacts for future projects of this kind, and I'm looking forward to getting in touch with you. These are some images from the project. 17 artists have been invited with this project.
Okay, hello together. My favorite material is steel. To realize my sculptures, I cut steel tubes, shape and then bend them, weld them together and grind the welded joints. My focus is on themes, especially the chromosomes. I'm working since 2005, fascinated by the forms and the shapes. I realized metal sculptures in various sizes, from very small up to 4 meters for private and public spaces. Well, variation, just to wait a little bit. Variations is another topic I'm working on. My focus is here on one simple form. For example, here the banded tube and the possibility of combination. Tangles and loops, here made of iron, is another work group. They are on steel or plastic, like here the invasion on the topic of invasive species, which you can see here at the river in Switzerland. Okay, thank you.
My work reflects layering, covering, repeating, bulging, interlacing structures. It is inspired by my vision of urban areas, especially where transitions are fragile and brittle. I'm interested in transitions and interfaces which occur when materials are connected and form boundaries. Unstable balances subtly inspire new interpretations of existing things. Juxtapositions of denoted phenomena and visible cut offer enigmatic situations along the street. This site-specific commission, The House and the Path, is about staying and leaving in traditional culture. I like walls and holes. The presentation of the construction process combines the front view with the rear. An open construction becomes a container for space and scale. The house, awaiting demolition, puts up final defense by expanding into urban space. Space is time, light, and scale.
As a sculptor, I have a strong preference for working in stone, especially for marble. And during the years, my main theme became the torso, and mostly it is the female torso. And they appear in a variety of shape. They can be sometimes 1 meter high and thin, but also 5 or 10 centimeter high. Probably because of my background as a movement teacher, I'm searching for alignment. I want the contour lines going up into the space. But also my work have an atmosphere of silence and serenity, and I think because that's a result of my way of working, I'm not going deep into the stone, I'm staying on the surface, mostly on the skin of the stone, which is for me very important. Thank you.
Regarding my works, I am always looking for inner sensations and feelings. I try to transmit them, worded in a surrealistic way, creating an imaginary world with soft and rounding forms that synthesize the shape of a foot, a distorted and stretched human foot. I use the organic shape to represent myself in my life's daily transit. I work with several materials, but my favorite one is marble. I really enjoy the working process with it. Many times I combine two materials in the same sculpture, trying to reinforce the concept of that particular piece and its meaning. As a guest, I have participated in several international symposiums of air sculpture in different countries. I feel like I am always in transition, receiving energy that flows in all directions. And this is the best opportunity to receive a big energy. Thank you.
It's nice work. Gabon, Lagno. I learned today. It's like good evening, friends in Basque. So my name is Kwan Ho-yu. Yeah, Kwan Ho-yu. Actually, I would like to see my work because it's for me it's the first time to see my pictures like big screen. So I will have a look together. It's not bad. But a little bit corny. Can you see the new love? In Wonderland. And in English, sit down. Oh, my main medium is photography. Somebody told me my work is like social sculpture. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
My name is Susanne Arnkiel and I'm from Denmark. I'm Danish. I lived in Switzerland for 14 years where I did the School of Art. I am working with a chainsaw and wood, and my biggest obstacle is that I think very big. So I can't help it. I find these beautiful trunks, and I work directly in the wood, and I work in oak. This is a redwood. It's 11 meters tall. This is just like the middle 2 meters. And this is standing in Geneva, where I did my art school. I work also as a painter, and I do also collage sculptures. And yeah, that was it.
In my project, the conceptual interest deals about the desert buildings. They ask us about our research and nearby history. It's a multidisciplinary project. In what's developed, the photography has been used as a sculpture tool. The architectural space is fragmented through the photography. It is an analytical process that goes from something digital or virtual to something material and formal. The reconstruction lies into a framework box. It makes the watcher to pay attention to the place inside. In other hand, I have manufactured other pieces, as the windows. In through, the tension is without the framework time. The photography reconstruction with fragments makes a formal skin. The metaphoric form should can perform to a visual role. Thank you.
Good evening. Closing down the Bauhaus school in 1933, the Nazis helped to spread the ideas of Bauhaus, mainly in the United States. And one of the teachers, Josef Albers, he taught at Yale University, and one of his students was Richard Serra. And one of the main topics of Albers was the language of material, and I think that describes my work pretty well. I'm using steel and asphalt, as you can see. Steel usually is a container to give the asphalt, which is liquid, the container to harden and to get cold. And usually the asphalt is the result, and the steel is only part of the work.
I love cartoons, I love physics, I love Samuel Beckett. It amazes me to be consciousness in a body. Most of what we think of as mind is actually body. Thinking is largely feeling. It's clear to me that personalities are born, inherited, and most of our actions are automatic. But does that mean we're prisoners in our bodies? If so, then we're also the jailers. What we think of as the self is a desperate tyrant, attempting to impose its narrative, fabulating wildly. But can we live without belief? Materialism is not enough. But all religions seem stupid. I make objects to try and understand. Artistry has to be a part of art. Medium is message and devotion. Art should be serious and funny, like life. I'm not anti-rational, but sculpture is for squashing, stroking, getting inside, and smelling. Galleries are hopelessly inhibited places to encounter art. We should blow them up. The question is how to make life into art. There you are. Questions, contradictions. I don't believe in coherence. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Christiane Pottschlager. I'm living in Austria, and I come from Germany, from Bremen. My message is construction of silence. It's a declination of silence, and I'm working puristic in steel. My approach to artwork is, I would tell it as conceptual and constructive. It means I have in this term it's 6-meter plates, and it's an experimental steel which I try to handle, and it's a very big experimental, and it's a minimalistic way of acting. So I have very few. That's me on the nose of things. I try to have the process of acting and reacting in material, and I think it stands for other phenomena in society. There's an action and there's always a reaction, even in society. And it's always, for me, working as a sculptor, it's a meditation form and meditation of being yourself and construction of silence. As a musician, it's an addition also for me.
Hello, I'm Petra Boshart from Amsterdam. I'm fascinated by the mysteries of life forms. We as humans are part of nature and follow the same rules of development and growth. I'm looking for parallels in natural forms and human existence. And I try to capture this as well as my own experience in stone. In such a way that though the images are new, they appear to be that they have always been there. Here are some photos which give in big lines what I'm busy with. This is Land of Milk and Honey. That's the last one. Oh no, this is Lost, like a man as a fossil coming out. This is what a piece of work is man. You see, I was busy with brains, and I will always be busy with brains, as that is the origin of how we think.
Good afternoon, I am Karama. My the artwork is on fluorescent green. Materials must be pure green, as exchangeable views, deals with night, dark, bright, and light. Like the pure green, like glow warm, like chlorophyll, and deals with souls and bodies, and supernatural green.
I'm Anders Gerliersen from Denmark. The main subject in my works is human interrelations and typical subjects expressed in a minimalist form. My favorite material is bronze, which I have been working with for more than 30 years. Many of my works are public commissions. I like to be outside among the public 24 hours a day. Even my main studio is in Denmark. I have made the most of my sculptures in cooperation with funders in Pietrasanta, Italy, and Barcelona. By working abroad, I feel that I'm still extending my view of perception. In order still to be in touch with the material, I'm casting maquettes in bronze in my studio. I like to work with wax, which gives me many possibilities to articulate the form and work with the tactile possibilities of the surface. The patination is one of my great issues. I'm fascinated how chemicals can heat and change the surface of a rock.
I come from Vienna, and my central theme is the human figure, more or less reduced to the essentials. I employ different methods of reduction, like compressing them to cubes, or cutting out the most important body lines, or figuring out the negative form, or showing limitations by putting them into iron frames. You can, the wrong one. You can find, it's missing the most important, okay. You can find several works in public spaces. Yes. For instance, a group of thinkers for the European Forum Bilbao. I also created a Thinkers Award for this association. This is a work of one word. This is a collaboration with an Italian painter.
Hello, I'm from Spain. I work with abstract concepts. I try to find expression which materialize the perceived energy that flows between shapes and forms. The resulting work is always close to work with volumes, and I see ways in which the relationship between inside and outside can give meaning to my work in order to show matter in emptiness. I use pattern as a scheme that increases the expressiveness of the shape and enhance the rhythm of balance and order. This is the biggest one, which name is the matter in emptiness. Thank you.
Hello, I'm from Italy. I'm Alessandra Porfiglia. I focus 2 points. The consciousness in the sense of a deep research, discovering those personal resources and the capability to take energy from the invisible. Then, a work of research in the sense of exploring the concept of site and habitat. A work capable to enter into space and materiality with a recodification of the common sense of the life through the interpretation of the relationship between artifice and nature, and humanity and world. Therefore, my work is focused on the concept of sustainability of the imagination. That means great respect for nature, for imagination, and for insight. I started working on the concept of identity, adding some specific consideration about gender, then about the space.
I want to show you some impressions from this year, from my work for the pathway in Deutsch Baselitz. This is a little village where the painter Georg Kern was born, and he take a part of the name. He is known as Georg Baselitz. And my work there was to develop a lot of instruments to perception the landscape. And I show you some pictures of my studio in the landscape. This was a work in this year. The opening was in October. Here you can see mostly pictures from my work. And this is a moment where we opened in October, and maybe we make a member meeting next year there if you are interested. Thank you very much.
Mir fällt die leichteste Aufgabe dieses Tages zu, nämlich die Konferenz zu schließen.
I have the most simple task tonight, which is closing this conference.
Ich bin allerdings eben erschrocken, als ich ein Stichwort hörte.
But I was shocked when I heard a certain keyword.
Ich will nicht hoffen, dass wir in 2025 ein Forum unter das Motto Der Mann als Fossil.
I don't hope that in 2025 we will have the theme The Man as a Fossil.
Ich hatte eben den Eindruck, als ich diese vielen engagierten Frauen hier oben sah.
Impression when I saw all those very engaged and active women up here.
Aber ich weiß, wir haben auch Männer unter unseren Künstlern.
But I know there's also men amongst our members.
Ich hoffe deswegen, dass Sie beim nächsten Mal, wenn wir dieses Experiment wiederholen, etwas mutiger sind und auch hier oben erscheinen.
So I really hope that the next time we repeat this showroom idea, there will be more men participating and having the courage to show up here on stage.